Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of The Sam Fury Show. I'm Sam Fury, and I'm here with Aventuras from SF Nonfiction Books. Today, we're diving into Chapter 1 of The Message Game, written by Ice White. Chapter 1 is titled, Getting Started, What is the First Thing You Need to Do?
All right, everybody, buckle up, because today we're diving into the world of online dating.
Ooh, yeah, always a fun one.
It is, and so many people are trying to kind of crack the code, figure out how to make it work for them. We're taking a deep dive into a book that's been making waves, The Message Game.
I've heard of this, yeah.
You've heard of it, right? And for those of you who haven't, don't worry, think of this as your crash course. We're going to break down the key takeaways, the really juicy stuff. So no more stressing over what to say in those first few messages. We're going to help you get that date.
Sounds good to me.
Right off the bat, this book is like, ditch the small talk.
Mm.
Why do you think it's so important to cut to the chase in the online dating world?
Well, think about it. People are scrolling through tons of profiles, tons of messages, right? I mean, you've got 5 seconds to make an impression before they're like, next.
Yeah, you snooze, you lose.
Exactly. And that's where the message game really comes in. It emphasizes being confident and direct with your messages, because that's what really grabs someone's attention.
It shows you're serious, I guess.
Exactly. It shows you know what you want and you're not afraid to go for it.
So it's like less, hey, how was your day? Ooh. Oh, what's the alternative?
Well, that's the thing. This book is big on using these very specific, almost like counterintuitive lines.
Like what? Give me an example.
Okay, so one of them is how spontaneous are you?
How spontaneous are you? I mean, I see what they're going for, but is that too forward?
Right. It's definitely bold, but it's also way more interesting than how's the weather?
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah.
Here's the thing. These questions, they're not just conversation starters. They're also subtle screening tools.
Okay, what do you mean by that?
So how someone responds tells you a lot about them. Are they adventurous? Are they kind of more reserved? You get a little glimpse into their personality without even having to directly ask.
It's like a sneaky personality test.
Exactly.
I like it. Okay, so you've caught their attention. You've kind of gotten a feel for their vibe. Then what?
Well, the message game is all about action. Actually
yes.
asking someone out on a date and doing it quickly.
Really?
Yeah. It even suggests having specific date ideas in mind.
Isn't that moving a little too fast?
It might seem that way, but the philosophy is all about shifting from the online world to an actual in-person date as soon as possible.
So you're not wasting time.
Exactly. And by proposing a date early on, you're showing confidence, you're decisive, and you're avoiding getting stuck in these endless text conversations that fizzle out.
Okay, no more pen pals.
Exactly.
Now, one line that really stood out to me was, and this is a direct quote, "Can you name 3 things you want to do on our first date?" That feels, I don't know, is that putting too much on the other person?
I get where you're coming from, but think about it. You're not just looking for any date. You're looking for a date they'll actually enjoy, right?
Okay, that makes sense.
So it shows that you value their input. And then, very subtly, it shifts the conversation from, will you go out with me, to when and where should we go out?
Oh, it changes the whole dynamic.
Exactly.
It's not about just throwing out cheesy lines. It's about being strategic and understanding the psychology, which I love. But, and maybe this is me overthinking, if you're using these very specific lines from the book, doesn't that kind of take away from being genuine?
That's a great point, and it's something the book actually addresses.
Okay, good.
Yeah. The author even cautions against directly copying the lines because, let's be honest, that can come across as inauthentic.
Yeah.
The real power is in understanding the underlying principles, right? Being confident, leading the interaction, and focusing on actually getting to that date.
So it's more about adapting the strategy, not just the words.
Exactly. It's about taking those principles and making them your own.
This has been, honestly, super eye-opening. I'm already thinking about my own dating app. So for those of you listening, I guess the question is, how can you take these principles and make them feel genuine to you? How can you use this strategic approach while still being authentic and finding someone who digs, the real you? That's something to think about.
It is.
The Message Game.
Thanks for tuning in to another episode of The Sam Fury Show. If you found this episode useful, let me know with a like, follow, and share. Also, if you haven't already, be sure to visit samfury.com and join my free newsletter. As a subscriber, you'll receive access to all my book summaries and no more than one email a week containing a roundup of my latest posts. It's completely free to join at samfury.com.